Next up, ladies and gentlemen, a special guest interview with a new emerging company from India. Traqade by Gympik is one of the leading Indian companies looking at fitness technology. We're joined by Amaresh Ojha, their founder and CEO, as he talks not just about the Indian marketplace, but also about his vision, his company, and where he sees growth next. Amaresh, thank you very much for joining us here today. 2020 has been an incredible year of challenge, and perhaps never more so than in India. Can you quickly give all that's watching here a quick insight into the current Indian fitness landscape and how much COVID has impacted that?
So it's not really a great news for the Indian fitness space, because if you look at the overall spectrum of the fitness centers, 90% of them are small boutique and standalone kind of centers, right? So these are run by individual entrepreneurs who don't have a very strong investor backing, and it is typically run by their own investment. And because of this lockdown, which was almost for 6 months, many of them are struggling to cover their expenses, struggling to pay the salary of people, right? So obviously, it's challenging time. People are slowly coming back to the gyms. They see the importance of workout, and people are slowly buying the membership. So obviously, the future looks good. But if you talk about the current scenario, our estimate is close to 20 to 30% of the centers will shut because they could not manage funds, shut because they don't see many people coming to the centers, right? So it's going to be the tough time. It's not very good even for the bigger chains. I mean, the 10% of the people who are the bigger centers, right, who have multiple centers, for them also is not a very good news, because their capex is high, the salaries are high, so they are also struggling. I think slowly it's all coming back, and in 2021, ICS is going to see a good growth.
We draw similar parallels with India and America. Both, of course, have been hit very hard by the virus, but one of the major challenges we're seeing in India and, of course, in the US is the lack of appetite for some people to really get back into the gyms that they have. And so, like you say, there has been attrition. There has been a number of gyms collapse, very similar to the US. And those numbers of about 20 or 30% are right on par with the US. Now, you're a business owner. You are a business leader, Amaresh. India has suffered a lot through this crisis, and you've obviously probably gone through one of the darkest times in your own career, certainly in terms of challenging. How have you led the company to continued growth, or certainly to new milestones throughout this crisis?
So one thing this pandemic had taught me personally is you should not worry for something which is not in your control. I mean, this is such a global phenomena. I mean, I really hardly can do anything, right? So even if I change the plan, I change the strategy, I am not going to get the people back to the gym and come start using it. So I think obviously the first month was real challenging, when I was thinking like how it's going to shape up, how the company is going to survive. So it was challenging. But after that, I stopped worrying about that, and I started picking up other things like how the overall strategy will be in 2021 once people come back, because it's not going to be end of the world, right? I mean, gyms are going to stay. Fitness is here to stay. It's not such a small industry that a virus will come and everything collapses. It's not the case. So the industry is going to be here. It's just a pause, you can say, which has caused this problem. So yeah, so we are slowly coming back. Our Traqade subscriptions are going up now. People are buying it. Obviously, the revenues are not how it used to be in the pre-COVID scenario, but it's picking up. On personal side, I use this time actually to pick up few of the things which I could not do in years, like meditation. I have been doing earlier for last like almost 8-10 years. I could not do much, but now I spend 1.5 hour, 2 hours to practice different meditations. So yeah, it's personally it's again for me. I spend quality time with my kid, with the family, a lot of things. I also set up a small gym in my house in the balcony where I work out. So I didn't miss much on the personal side. But yeah, the challenge continues.
Well, I think, like you said, as a business owner, as a business leader, we can sit here and worry about everything in front of us. But the reality is we can only worry about things we can change and influence.
Absolutely.
Now, Traqade by Gympik, of course, has been around for a number of years, and you've helped transform how the gym and studio marketplace in India is managed. So maybe a little bit of immaturity in the marketplace, a little bit of unsophistication. How well do you think you've managed to build up the sophistication of management of gyms and facilities, and how can you take that across to other similar businesses across Asia?
So I'll give you the example of Traqade, how it started. So if you see the smaller players which are existing in India, these are very boutique kind of software companies which are making software for the gyms without much understanding of the industry, like how the fitness industry operates. And if you talk about the bigger players like Virtua Gym, Glowfox, or MindBody, their pricings are so high that not many people can afford it. Right? So that's where we saw a gap. Like we need something which has all the facilities, technology, UI, UX, which is at par with all these bigger players, but which is made customized for the Indian and the Asian audience. Because if you see the usage pattern, how people buy memberships, how they use the gyms, is very different from the Western countries and and this side of the globe, right? So that's how Traqade started. 1.5, 2 years we are in the market. We have more than 1,000 centers using the software, right? We have 100% retention actually. Nobody has opted out of Traqade once they bought it. So we see this product is made for the audience where it belongs to, and we are very hopeful that once we launch it in the Southeast Asian market, is going to have a bigger impact, because people don't have to change any of the user flows how they do for the American or the European softwares, but it's custom built for their end-to-end user journey.
You're at the forefront of fitness technology, Amaresh, and of course it's exploded not just in India but globally. How do you believe the future of the gym and the studio market is going to change in the next few months? Not just fads, but long-term trends. What will the future of the gym market look like, and how are you positioned to make sure that you're adding maximum value to that?
So I think that this is a very interesting question, and a lot of people are trying to get the insight, like how the future is going to be. A lot of offerings are there on the virtual side, where there's a training sitting somewhere else. There are recorded videos, which people want to follow and do things. So how I see is going to be a mix of online and offline. I mean, people are going to come back to the centers, the gyms or the fitness studios, but they also want to have a video thing. Like there's a plan made for them which they can do at home. See, initially the problem was people were not used to the virtual classes, but this pandemic actually did a forced adoption where people were forced to do something online and they slowly started liking it, right? So once you do something for like 2 months, 3 months, you're like, okay, now I can manage that. So that's how it started. We see, and a lot of companies, they have already started doing that, where it's going to be a mix of online and offline. So the gyms, people can come to the gym, suppose for like 2 days in a week, and 3 days or 4 days they can attend from wherever they are. So that's how it's going to be. Technology is going to play a bigger role where you track the user journey of every member, like from the time he bought the membership till he renews next time. You have all the touch points being covered clearly, and you are communicating to him properly. So people are going to adapt to the new technologies, and the fitness owners uh, should look for a solution which makes their life easier using technology.
Now, with 1,000 clubs, you're hardly a newcomer to the marketplace. You've got a track record. You've got a long history of helping clubs evolve and grow their businesses. Looking forward, of course, international expansion is obviously one of the key things for Traqade by Gympik going forward. What benefits do you think you can actually bring the international market? You touched on this idea, of course, of a lower cost, higher value offering. Now, cost is obviously one key thing, and you'll find a lot of our owners and operators in 2021 revisit that cost structure of their business to look for more economical solutions. Apart from cost, what other benefits can you bring to the community?
So I'll tell you, cost is obviously a value point, but I never say cost is the only advantage what Traqade brings to the gym owners. Actually, if you see the software, if you use it for the time, use it for some time, what we say, this is software which has zero training time, right? Because in India, the biggest challenge what these people face, the gym owners, is the attrition. A lot of time, the people who are at the front desk or the people who are managing, they keep changing every 3 months, every 6 months. From club one, they move to the club two, and every time a new person joins, there's a training time which you need to do. Traqade has a very simplistic approach. We have taken a very simple route where we say like 10 minutes, and new person knows how to use the software, right? And when we started the software for the first time, I had a very clear mandate to my sales team: go and target all the centers who are not using any software, and tell them, here is the software. You try to use it. If you feel you still want to go back to your Excel or your notebook, you have to do that. We'll refund your money. And we saw huge success actually. So we have made this software keeping the gym owners, the club owners in mind. And since there are more than 1,000 club owners who are using this software in India and few other countries, we are hopeful that once we go internationally, we'll have a very strong pipeline, and people are really going to love this software.
Now, you've set your sights on Southeast Asia as one of your next growth markets, an incredibly interesting and exciting region. It's becoming more mature. There's a huge number of new operators coming into the market. It's highly capitalized. It's highly energized. What are your milestones for Southeast Asia in the next 12 months?
So we are setting up our sales team in Singapore, Malaysia. We are also recruiting people in Philippines. So we are very bullish. And we see this is the next extension of our product. Since we have seen the Indian market, the product is also mature. Most of the use cases are being covered. We are hopeful that once we add people and train people or make people aware of the product in the Southeast Asian region, we should be able to capture at least 500 plus clubs in 2021.
Well, that's a great.
So that's the kind of internal. Yes. So that's the kind of internal milestone we have for the team.
Now, this year, you've also managed to raise capital through Round Glass Partners. Congratulations. That is no easy task to try and raise capital in today's marketplace. And let's looking at this partnership, Amaresh, because of course, it's great now to have that capital behind you. Where are you going to be building the company? What capacities and capabilities are you looking to try and deploy that capital to strengthening?
We are really thankful to Round Glass Partner who are with us for last like 5 years. They have been funding us. They have a trust and faith in the long-term impact we can bring to the fitness industry. And just before the COVID, we had a round with them, and which really helped me pass through this COVID, where I really didn't have to worry about paying the bills, the salaries of the employees, right? So obviously this capital is going to be deployed in the extension in the Southeast Asian countries, where we are already recruiting people, trying to get more and more salespeople on the street, where they'll go and talk to the club owners and explain about the product, the benefits, what it can bring to them. So that's where it's going to be. And technology obviously is something that we have been investing for quite some time. So that will definitely continue. So yeah, 2021 we are looking to expand bigger, since we have a product which is being validated in a bigger market, bigger and a complex market like India. We are adding more and more people to expand it now.
Now, in the next few days or next few weeks, Amaresh, we're going to share an exciting demo with our network from Traqade. Tell us what to look out for. What can potential buyers, what can potential partners look for in that demo that differentiates you?
As I told you earlier, I want people to see the simplicity of this product. This is a very small demo where we talk about all end-to-end flow, and we want to show people or the audience who are listening to us or who are waiting for the demo to see a product which is very simplistic in nature, but still it covers all the complex use cases. So I would request everyone to stay tuned to our next email or the communication, and please have a look of the demo.
Now we've got a couple of minutes left. Time for 2 quick-fire questions, Amaresh. One of the ones we like people to reflect on is, looking back across your career, you've probably learned numerous business lessons, but what one did you learn early in your career that still rings true today?
The most important business lesson, which I still validate for every feature or every product, is going early to the customer. Right. So when we started Gympik, even if the product was like not even half cooked, we went to the audience and we realized like if people have a need of something, they don't mind if it's not properly done. But as long as it's helping solve their problem, they're fine with that. So still today we do that. So if there's a feature need and if the feature has few bugs, I don't mind pushing it to the customers as long as it's not breaking the flow of the product, right? Because somebody who is going to use that feature or the product are not looking for the defects like how we see as a product owner or the people who own the product. They want to solve their problem. So this is something which I'm very particular about. Solve the problem and give it to the customers.
I couldn't agree more with that. I think if you strive for perfection in this marketplace, it's hard to attain. But if there's already value you can give to your customers, give it to them. I mean, give it to them straight away. One last question, and perhaps a reflection from my own perspective, Amaresh. We are incredibly excited about the 2021 market and beyond. We're seeing companies just like yourself coming in across Asia and really helping strengthen the marketplace. What excites you about 2021 and beyond?
We are definitely going global. Southeast Asian market already we are launching, and beyond 2021, or if things are positive in 2021, we might get into a few other countries, raise bigger capital, try to become much bigger, try to take a product which is solving a very complex problem in a very simplistic way to the mass audience. So I think that's what we are very particular about. And fitness is more like a passion for me. I have been working out for more than 10, 12 years, though I started my career as a software engineer and I'm a business graduate. I understand this industry from both the perspective as a consumer or as a business owner. So it's more like I'm trying to change my passion. The bigger it becomes, I feel more happier.
Well, I think that's a good note to end it on. Amaresh, thank you very much for your time. Wishing you and the team every success in your international expansion. And ladies and gentlemen, Amaresh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ross. Thanks for your time. Have a nice day.